Hello everybody, my name is Mohit Deshpande, and in this video I want to very briefly show you guys how to define matrices in Numpy. So Numpy is a part of a scientific library for Python, and it just allows us to do any sort of matrix operations really fast in Python. So first of all, to import Numpy, we have to type in import Numpy. I'm going to add this extra little thing called as np, and basically what that does is that just creates an alias. So anytime I type in np in my Python code, it's actually going to replace it with numpy. And it's just a way that we can shorten up our Python code. So we don't have to keep typing in numpy all the time. We can just type in np. Okay, so now that I have this, let's actually create our matrix. I'm going to use capital A again. I'll say capital A equals np dot array, and then I'll finish the parentheses there. And you might be saying, wait a minute, but we're not declaring an array or a list or anything like that. We want to declare a matrix. And I say, hold on, I'm getting to that. I'm going to define it in such a way that it's going to kind of actually look like a matrix. And what we're going to use is something called a list of lists. So basically what the list of lists is, you have one big list, which I'm going to show you right now, like this. And inside this big list, there are tons of smaller lists, and those lists are going to make up the rows. So let's actually go through an example here. So the first row, I want it to be 17, 8, and 3. And so that's a list. That's the first row. I'll use a comma and then create another list. The next will be 0, -3, 10. So now I'll close that and comma, and then the final row will then be 7, -100, and 8. And that's the last row. And you can see that when I'm defining it like this, it actually kind of looks like a matrix, right? And this is what kind of NumPy is relying on when you type in np.array, because what this does is it'll actually create a matrix because you're using a list of lists. Anyway, let's actually see what happens when let's actually see Python print this out. So to do that, we can just type in print A, and let's actually go ahead and run our code and see the output. So let me pull this up here. So here is what the output looks like, and you see that NumPy has actually formatted this like a matrix, right? So you have your rows and your columns, and it's put appropriate spacing and whatnot between them. So this is how we can declare matrices in NumPy. So that's what I'm gonna stop right here for this video. And in the next videos, we'll discuss how we can do more matrix operations with NumPy, but I just wanted to talk about how we actually declare matrices first. So just to do a quick recap of this video, I explained how we can create matrices using NumPy, and using this NumPy array, and then we use this list of lists sort of thing where we have this bigger list, and in each of the elements of that big list are smaller lists, and those lists are actually the rows of the matrix. And then NumPy automatically knows to arrange this list of lists into rows and columns, as we can see when we run the output. So that's what we covered in this video, and then in the next few videos we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about NumPy and matrix math.